As it turns out, American big tech is untouchable only in the US. In other parts of the world, it is being challenged. It is facing more regulation and in some cases being asked to cough up hefty fines. Take Google, for instance. South Korea slapped a $32 million fine on Google, and now Europe is imposing stricter rules. These rules will apply to 19 tech giants. They will face more scrutiny. Which are these companies? What did they do to invite such measures? And does this set a template for the rest of the world to follow? Our next report has the answers. Being a big tech company may be a badge of honor in the United States. But around the world, it's turning into a liability. Take the European Union, for example. It has identified 19 very big companies. The EU says that these companies are so big that they have an added responsibility. Responsibility for what? For making the internet safer. The European Union has rolled out some big online content rules. They're collectively known as the Digital Services Act. Here's what the rules broadly stipulate. Companies must undertake risk management. They must conduct external and internal auditing. They will also have to share data with relevant authorities and researchers and adopt a code of conduct by August this year. That's not all. These companies will also be asked to do a lot more to tackle disinformation. They'll have to protect users and give them more choices, and also ensure stronger protection for children. Given the track record of big tech companies, they may try to wiggle their way out of these rules. But non-compliance may attract major fines. We are talking about fines as high as 6% of their global turnover. So which companies are in the dock? The biggest of the lot. The likes of Google, Apple, Amazon, Meta, Twitter, TikTok, Alibaba, Wikipedia, Microsoft, and Snapchat. The European Commissioner for Internet Market made a point to single out Facebook. Thierry Breton said, and I quote, "Now that Facebook has been designated as a very large online platform, Meta needs to carefully investigate the system and fix it where needed ASAP." Twitter and TikTok will also be put through a test. A stress test, if you want to be dramatic about it. They'll be put under intense testing, and how they perform under stress will determine the stability of their systems. The European Union has a love-hate relationship with big tech. Europe needs these companies as much as the rest of the world does, but it also wants to make sure that these companies abide by European laws. It has slapped hefty fines on the likes of Google and Apple. American tech giants have been accused of tax evasion, stifling competition, using unfair means, and also spreading misinformation. In July last year, the European Parliament rolled out the Digital Markets Act. Its goal is to curb the market dominance of big tech companies and make the digital world a level playing field for all. Companies found violating the act would be fined up to 10% of their global revenue. In 2017, Google was fined 2.4 billion euros. The next year, it was slapped with a 4.3 billion euro fine, and then in 2019, it had another 1.5 billion euro fine. All these fines were imposed because Google was found abusing its dominant market position to kill competition. For all its faults, the EU is indeed waging a spirited fight against big tech. And that's a lesson for the world. Big tech companies can be taken to task. They just need to be given the right motivation, which, in the case of the EU, is the promise of billions of dollars in fines.